Okay.
Well, it's doing apparently 6 minutes.
Right, we're good? We're rolling? Okay, so this is where we have the disc on the bottom, and we have the entire perimeter is already finished already. Lack of material here, so I'm just faking it. So this is where we come on with the top, and what you're going to make sure that you keep an eye out for is that when you place this one here, that you're looking at the symmetry of everywhere else, that it's basically lining up. You know, it might line up a little bit on and off, but you just make sure that it isn't cockeyed too much, okay, when you get that first weld done. So we get this here lined up. You can see how my hand on the back side here is kind of lining it up, holding it. We got to get the tool in here. Now see how we're holding this at an angle, because that's the angle of the cut. And you're looking at it from the top, from the outside or from the inside, and then we're coming down with the weld, giving it the little wiggle. And then here, right there, you're doing a push on the outside. So for each and every weld that you get to do, you get to put your fingerprint on it. And that'll be the hand craftsmanship. You got that, Kirb? So if you're wanted anywhere, your fingerprints are going to be all over. Now, the first weld, you just pick anywhere. The second weld needs to be done at the exact opposite side. And then when you're setting this up, before you have your tool and you're ready to go, you're lining it up. We'll just pretend that this is the exact opposite side, okay? You're lining this up, and you're making sure that you're holding these two pieces relative to one another the same, because you're looking at all the rest of the fit for concentricity, so that it's even on both sides here. Whether the top sticks out or the top sticks in, you just need to make sure that it's even side to side with this opposite side. So then the second weld that you do is exactly opposite of the first. Keep that tool tipped down because you're following that angle. Watch for the left and right. Kind of get that feel for it. Pull it out. Then get that push on the back side there. So you get your fingerprint on there. Otherwise it's just kind of a big gaudy ball that just kind of hangs out there. Remember to always keep that tool clean whenever you're working on it. When you're done working on it, just do 2 wipes and then just let it cool. When you start it up the next time, that's when you can clean all the rest of the stuff off with your piece of wood when you're getting started on the job. When you get the first one and then when you get the second one done at the opposite side, then you're coming on to the interior ones, and sometimes you'll maybe need to push the lower side in or maybe pull it out a little bit. So you have that control to work with, okay? This is where you gotta get the artwork in on how it's gonna come out. So we get our tool in there. With your hands, you're going to be getting that little bit of a spread in there. It's easier with a full disc because it's not going to be so tippy. And then you get it laid down there. Always keeping an eye on all the rest of the welds. Sometimes your welds, they just won't be perfectly concentric all the time, but you just have to keep an eye on it and do the best that you can. There's the temptation that once you get from the first weld to the second one, when you go the first one to the intermediate, when you get this one done, and then when you get to that one done, you got to make sure that you're keeping an eye on that one too, so that all of these 3 look about the same. Because there's the temptation for that if you do this one, you try to make that lined up, this one you try to make that lined up, and then all of a sudden you come to the last one, and it's way kittywampus. You know, if it's going to be if there's a little bit of extra tippage one way or another, you just gotta even it out. And what you can do is, when you do that welding, you know, you can put a little bit of extra pressure on towards the outside or towards the inside to kind of milk it into the best center point there. Okay, that's it.